There were a lot of folks speaking up about the need to keep it, but the Greenwood Chamber owns the property on both sides of that street there, and they had not been properly engaged. I didn't think that it was appropriate for the city to move forward with removal of that mural first thing Monday morning, which is how it was scheduled, without having that conversation with them. And so I put a halt on it on Friday afternoon, and then reached out and visited both with the president of the chamber yesterday morning, but also the president of their Merchants and Tenants Association. The conversation, which I generally don't like to discuss private conversations, but since it's been called into question, I feel like I have to. I approached them basically just to let them know what their options were. That if they wanted to keep the mural, from our standpoint at the city, there were two main options that they had at their disposal. One, they could ask the city to vacate the street. And what that does is the city basically removes its responsibility for the street. It becomes the property of the property owners on either side of the street. If you have a house, your property line actually extends out into the middle line of that street. Same for any other business owner. And if the city all of a sudden removes its easement on that street, then that property is yours. And all of the issues around this mural are around the fact that it's public property that's being used as a public forum when there is no mechanism in place for other folks to be able to use it as a public forum. And so I told them, we can vacate it, we can move through that process, and they did not want to do that, and for understandable reasons. Usually when we vacate a piece of property, it's for a development project where they're going to build something on top of a street that hasn't been used in years. Or it's in a neighborhood where they're going to gate it and charge the homeowners a rate to maintain the street. But you don't see a lot of streets vacated where it's a general open thoroughfare that people are walking on and driving on, and they had concerns about legal liability and maintenance costs, and I completely understand those concerns. The other option that was at their disposal and remains at their disposal is to pursue a permit through the city council. The city council, under our charter, and this is one of those unique things. Usually the mayor has sole executive responsibility at the city. This is one that is only reserved for the city council. The mayor is not involved in the process. But the city council has the ability to issue a permit for the use of messaging on public property. And so I told them, about the council's meeting the previous week and the council's concern, and there had been a different proposal made for a Blue Lives Matter mural on a street, and the outcome of that discussion that the council had the previous week was if you allow one group to display a sign on a street, then under legal guidance, you have to pretty much allow any other message that's lawful to also go on streets if people apply for it. And I think the council very rightfully had concerns about opening up our streets in Tulsa to any kind of message that people might want to put on them. And so the council declined to move ahead with that request and really with any. But I wanted the Greenwood Chamber to know that if you're a property owner that owns both sides of the street and you're going forward and making this request, that the council might, or the council should, hear you out and hear your request and make their decision accordingly.